Well, I'm feeling stressed out, which is usually when I am likely to make one of these little diary video recordings. And where to begin? The thing most on my mind right now, but it's not necessarily, it must just be a symptom of, my mindset, because it's not the most horrible thing in the world. But financially, the receptionist here asked if we could put a credit card on file, which to me that's a gutsy, it's a big ask. Not by her, she was just told to do that, I'm sure, told to ask. But just because I feel like there should be some agreement of what is charged and when and how much we can pay, and maybe an agreement worked out, because you don't just want money taken out because we are tight. But then it makes me want JR to be very communicative, because he's the one who pays these bills, so it makes me want him to be very communicative with Cortica and the billing. But I guess, and we actually reached our deductible quite a while ago, but we still owe the money toward that deductible, so we're still paying on it, and it'll get paid. But gosh, I feel stressed because on the 22nd I'm getting an implant in my, right there, I'm missing a tooth now, and I'm nervous because that's going to be over $4,000, which is insane. And I truly believe it came out of, anxiety and teeth grinding. I truly believe that, the crown couldn't withstand that, because there wasn't much tooth left when they put that crown on, and I think the crown couldn't withstand all the teeth grinding. So that's unfortunate that I didn't figure out a way to manage that, because it was only 6 months before that or something that I had to have that crown replaced, because it was already a crown, and I think there was already a crown there and a root canal, and I had to, maybe 9 months ago or something, I had to get, I don't know if I just keep changing the timeline, but I think it was 9 months ago, I had to get the crown totally replaced and a new root canal, which was thousands of dollars that I couldn't pay, that I put on a credit card, because what are you going to do? You have to do it. My my gums were infected and all, and I was going to the dentist frequently. I get good care, I floss every night, but I really believe it's the teeth grinding issue, and I think it's just out of control from anxiety. And so I got an appointment to get the implant in my, where my empty cap is now. And we don't have the money as of now to pay for it. JR's getting a bonus at the very end of December. But as of now, there's not money for that. There's money owed to Cortica. And I guess those are the only two major bills. They're really big. But I guess, things could be worse. Things could be a lot worse. But I feel some anxiety when I feel pressure to give them a credit card number. And I know they can't just take money out. I don't like the idea of just having automatic payments that aren't set up. JR should set that up, right? I don't like the idea of them just being like, well, we might just take out, $500. We don't know. Who knows? I think there needs to be some kind of agreement. So it just seems very unclear. And I don't want to give out the credit card without it being clear what's coming out and when. But I think JR's overwhelmed and probably doesn't want to deal with it. He just wants to kind of deal with it in his time, and it's just the way it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. But I just feel some stress, I guess, about money, thinking about it. But then also just rushing back and forth. But I was talking to a friend here, and she's really sweet. She's really nice. And she was talking about getting together with our families and doing something fun, which is what I've wanted for years. We haven't had a family to hang out with, or a family that has asked us to hang out since we lived in Chicago, probably 2016, something like that. Maybe even 2015. But yeah, it's been a long time. I mean, it's been probably at least 5 years. And I also enjoyed talking to my neighbor a little bit today. I got to go over to her place, and she seemed happy that I could make it. So I should be feeling really happy about that, but I find myself feeling really nervous that I'm just going to mess this up, and it's just going to be awkward and horrible, and it's going to all come crashing down painfully. I know that's, obviously a therapist could, a counselor or therapist could have a field day with this way of thinking. I recognize that it's not a healthy way to think, but I do feel overwhelmed. I do feel overwhelmed by the thought of having friends, and it's what I've wanted friends for a long time now, but it feels overwhelming. I feel certain that I'm gonna mess it up. I think that's like there's something in my head that must just be telling me that. It must just be telling me you're gonna mess this up. You're not gonna be a good friend, or they're not gonna be a good friend, and it's gonna end badly, and it's gonna be awkward. You're gonna be weird. I don't know. I don't know what else is in my head, but definitely those thoughts. So, but I'm excited about having friends. I'm excited, but there's something in my mind that wants to ruin that and just hide away and not see anybody, because it's scary. It's scary sometimes. It's good to just have fun and be yourself, but it's hard for me to just have fun and be myself. I don't think I'm very good at it. I'm good at it with JR, I think, but I don't think I'm very good at it with others. Yeah, I mean, maybe I've had my times, but I don't know that I've been a great friend to people in the past. I mean, I think there's people I've been good to, or people that probably have good memories of me or think fondly of me, but I also feel like I've not always been. I also feel like I haven't always been a great friend, or yeah. But I think for the last few years I've just felt like, why would anybody want to be my friend? But I still would be very hurt when I felt rejected. I'd still feel, like offended, feel offended and stuff. But at the same time, there is a voice in my head telling me, like, why would anybody want to hang out with you? So I know that's something to think about and work through and let go of and pray about. Yeah, I mean, the scariest thing in the world isn't people leaving. I mean, people do come and go, but that doesn't mean that you don't reach out and connect with people. I mean, I can survive. Yeah. So, Aaliyah and Adriana have been doing pretty well. They've been doing pretty well. Aaliyah is going to bed. When she gets up early enough, she goes to bed at night. She's just still having stomach issues, and certainly she's still having stomach issues, and I think we're helping her. There's a lot we've learned, and we've learned more than any doctor's ever been able to tell us. But at the same time, there's a lot we don't know, and there's a lot I'd still like to learn more about, because there's still mystery here, and there's still things that aren't working right. So I just pray sometimes that God would help us to understand, because I do think there's something to learn here. There's something to be known, and we just haven't been able to figure it out. But there's so much going on. There's a Medi-Cal application we need to figure out. We need to fill the rest of it out and send it in. We've kind of hit a wall with that. And then I need to find respite care workers, and then at that point we can apply for IHSS, and then we could get so much help financially. But it just feels like those hurdles just feel like ginormous mountains. And the kids need to get some blood tests for Dr. Wong, for their neurologist. That should be pretty simple. I realize it might be a while before we get the MRI, and I think I should just go ahead and call the Amen Clinic and ask them to do a full evaluation. We have a really, really sweet woman offering to pay for the kids' treatment, and so I think, the MRI might take a while. We were waiting on that, but it might just be good to just dive in and call them back, and, before too much time goes by. But, yeah, so I guess when I say all that, it doesn't sound horrible, but it feels like a lot. We've just been jumping through hoops. We've been just continuously pressing forward, and I feel like I consistently do like little things and big things daily to kind of keep trying to move forward and to move the process forward and to keep going and to keep pressing on. But it just, there's just so many things that keep getting stalemate or whatever, just obstacles, or we just kind of keep stalling out, spinning our wheels, or just feels like things get paused, and I hate things being left undone. But yeah, I've been working through my anxiety. I know I mentioned anxiety about Aaliyah, and feeling like anytime she's really upset, just feeling like everything's going to go back to just chaos, and to just where everything feels like it's falling apart all the time. And I'm trying to work through that, because that's not the case. We are moving forward. Even though there's still hard times, we are moving forward, and it's not going back to what it was. I know for a long time, in the past few years, I've continuously, well, especially 2020, I've been continually telling myself, okay, you've got to just adapt. You've got to just, these are just, it's regression. It's, okay, so you lost the potty training. Okay, so you lost this. Okay, so, just adapt. Like, this is your new normal. Just, carry on and, like, accept it. But, I used to tell myself, but where's this going? If I just keep accepting and keep accepting the new realities and the disappointments and the discouragements, how far back are we going? What is my life going to look like if I just, I had no choice, but there's no other choice but then to accept it and try to make the best of things and trust God. But I did fear, where is this going? I feel like I just keep accepting new, really sad things. And I'm afraid that eventually I'm just going to wonder how I got here, because it's just going to be so sad and so, going backwards so much. But it's not anymore. It's not going backwards anymore. We're not going backwards. And that's exciting, but there's still so many unanswered questions and things I'm trying to solve and things I'm trying to take care of, and getting us the support we need. And I kind of can't believe it. I kind of can't believe that, JR figured out something, God planted something there. I believe God did. I believe that, truly. To help us to move forward and to get out of where we were. Because we were just going backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards. I was with the neighbor today, and she homeschools, and she was showing me her son's work, and she was so proud. And It was really sweet, but it brought me back to 2020 with virtual school and with virtual therapy. And I did that with them, and JR, did school. He was a part of the school, but I did the therapy. And literally, I mean, it was a full year where I don't believe Aaliyah progressed at all in any of the programs. And it wasn't her fault. It was just, she was so, like, I felt like even before 2020, but I don't know exactly when, but it just felt like Aaliyah and Adriana both really lost themselves, and just no longer, like, they lost their personalities, they lost their desire to connect, and their smiles and their joy, for the most part. I'm not saying it never happened, but it was, for the most part, they just felt like shells of themselves. They just felt like, yeah, I mean, Adriana, they just weren't laughing anymore, having fun. Adriana lost that side of her personality that's so playful. Aaliyah lost her playfulness. They were just so it was just a sad couple of years. It was a sad couple of years. And I don't know why I was going there, but it's so nice to see the personality coming back, and to see playfulness coming back, and to see affection coming back, and to also not be living so much on edge where you're always just thinking, is someone about, anytime you feel like you do anything that's not preferred, you're just waiting for, I guess with both of them really, but you're just waiting for everything to come tumbling apart or falling apart. So there's a lot of good things happening, but it scares me, because I don't know that I feel prepared to live in a way that's forward moving, that's progressing. I feel like that's a completely different identity than just like surviving and feeling like every day like you're drowning. Because I struggled so much with like anxiety physically, and that started before I was even pregnant with the twins. That started before then. So it's been a long time in the making. Like where I got physically with my anxiety was a long time in the making. But I don't know that I know how to be successful in some way, or like, not successful, but like yeah, not necessarily successful. That's a really unclear word anyway. It's very general. But I just mean like the kind of person who, gosh, I don't even know, has friends and does things for myself, or has kids like that I that are doing well, that we have fun together, like doing well as far as like feeling pretty good, like able to enjoy their time with me. I just feel like I know how to struggle, and I didn't like it, but I'm proud of like what God has done for me in the struggle, like the things he taught me, but I don't feel like it feels intimidating to be doing okay. It sounds silly to say that. It doesn't even sound like it makes a lot of sense. I guess maybe I just feel like I have to rise to the occasion. And it's like, oh, there's, so much I could be doing, so much. Maybe I just need to take it easy in my mind. Anyways, I've been talking for 20 minutes. I'm gonna hang it up.